I start sharing the PowerPoint. Well, this presentation is about the harmony of the spheres, especially in the Pythagorean and Platonic tradition, which are these philosophies that wanted to express the cosmology and the metaphysics beyond the cosmology in a symbolic form. So numbers are not only numbers, or musical notes are not musical notes just, but they are also principles, and especially also they are connected to divine principles. They are like um, living ideas, or everything is connected into what other philosophers call the ground of being, or everything is alive in an organic way. So this is the idea then for uh, symbol that unifies everything together. So we have this first presentation of the harmony of the sphere as a snake, but it's the Pytho serpent from the Apollonian tradition. No, Apollo is there uh, is with the serpent on his feet, because it means that the harmony, the energy that is the serpent, is connecting everything, all the levels of reality here associated with the nine muses, but also with the planets and with the different um, scales of the music theory of the Greeks. So, as we can see, there are also the three graces. Everything is connected to beauty and cosmos. No, cosmos in Greek means not only beauty but also something that is well arranged, like in cosmetics. No, so everything is interconnected, which is another word associated with the word harmony. So this is another version of a similar representation of the connection between the planets and the serpent, or sometimes it is a swan with the long neck of the swan, represents the cosmic vibration. No, it's something that express the idea that to join levels together, this connection must not be static; it must be moving. So if you want to combine levels that are separated, and they are, you could mention that the levels are static in a way, but this serpent erupts as a Dionysian energy and puts everything in movement, like in a dance. No, because the harmony of the sphere is also the choir. Or choir means in Greek also choros, which is chorein, to dance. Another sophisticated version of this harmony of the spheres is a music instrument, a cosmic monochord, which was an instrument used by the Pythagoreans to study and explore the music intervals. And since they didn't do these representations at that time, these are Renaissance and early modern representations, but they are trying to express Pythagorean and Platonic and Neoplatonic ideas. The sun, Apollo, is usually in the center because the Apollonian energy is this integrative force at the center. And we can see here also another representation of the world soul, or the anima mundi, which is shown by chains, because the metaphor of the chain is another metaphor for the harmony of the spheres, or the ladder of the planets, or of reality. We have a little monkey or ape because this means imitation. No, everything imitates the harmony that is divine, or the harmony that is in the middle of the planets. And here is our world, no, the sensible world. There are three worlds: the world made of ether, or the divine vibratory nature of sound and light, and then we have the planetary in the middle, and the sensible world, which is an image of the other, and everything is connected thanks to nature, because this means integra naturae speculum artisque imago. In Latin, it means a mirror of all nature and an image of art. Nature has many levels in Neoplatonic philosophy, and the harmony of the sphere is an explanation of how all these levels create a music altogether. Light could be another way of expressing this, and reflection, but I don't have time. So, but then we need to see that this is not only a representation of the cosmos, which is abstract, but it's a way of transforming the person. Orpheus was one of the members of the Argonauts expedition, no? Jason and the Argonauts were trying to find the golden fleece, which is a symbol of eternity, immortality, and they need to pass some obstacles. And to pass the obstacles, music is what opens the gates or the clashing rocks in this case. So Orpheus plays the lyre and opens up the way. I have a poem here, but if I read the poem, it goes away a little from the topic of the harmony of the sphere, but we can take this into account, just maybe the beginning, that Rilke, Rainer Maria Rilke, the Austrian poet, tried to express this idea of music as something that connects us with the inner substance of the soul, and at the same time, music projects that inner spirit into the world, but it's not projecting it because it's not already there. No, it's like opening the connection. So if we say music, the breathing of statues, perhaps the quiet of images, you language where languages end. Oh, this is the symbolism of music. Music is a language where words cannot reach. It's also time, time standing straight from the direction of transpiring hearts. It's a kind of time that is subjective time. It's not the time that is outside, but it's the source of time. It's the time of the soul, which for Plato is an image of eternity. There is a dialogue by Plato called the Timaeus, where Plato says, time is an image of eternity. And in this poem, this kind of eternal standing straight, the axis of the where everything turns around, is this eternity, and music can express that kind of. We could call it like Schopenhauer, no, the will of the world, the universal ground of being before any individuation. So all the hearts are connected there. So these feelings that express music, feelings for whom? Feelings changing into what? Into audible landscape. The landscape is a harmony of the spheres, no? It's a space full of music. But music is a stranger in reality because music comes from that world and dwells here with us. And for Plato and the Pythagoreans, what was important about this harmony of the spheres topic was that it was something that awakens the kinship between the innermost part of the soul and the music that is in those landscapes. So it enters the chamber of our heart, which has outgrown us, because music expands the soul. That's a very important topic also. Our innermost self transcending, squeezed out, holy farewell. Holy farewell means that music also says goodbye to the ordinary world. And the interior, what was inside us, now is surrounding us. No, we are surrounded by music, and it's an inner space that paradoxically surrounds us. It becomes no longer habitable because it's transcendent, but in a way, it means that it's not habitable for our ego. No, if we transform into that interconnectedness, we can dwell into that kind of space. So this is the connection probably between macrocosm and microcosm that also music can make it happen because it's a bridge. And Delphi was also the place of Apollo, but in Delphi there was also a representation of Apollo together with Dionysus. I, in my courses, I want to say that when we study numbers or arithmetics and all the rational part of the music, we are not studying that in a Cartesian or Cartesian like Descartes. No, it's not rationalistic mathematics. It's symbolic mathematics. So if you can take into account the idea that modern mathematics is more like some kind of um, abstract projection into the space, like this garden. No, the Baroque garden is more an abstraction that is put into the landscape, and in a way is exploiting the landscape, like our modern world. No, the relation with nature. But the Neoplatonic and the Romantic way of connecting with nature is more like the English landscape garden. It's not something that is symmetric and a diagram that is projected into the land, but it's on the other hand, like the Romantics try to explain, is feeling something that is inside nature, thanks to music and poetry and the arts, and have some kind of kinship with that creative power of nature. And when you feel that, you don't need to do a design of the garden. The flow of nature is the one who is doing the design. So, and the same happens with music. We have Apollo and Dionysius. If you are too much Apollinian, you become like this because we forget Dionysius. And this is more Dionysian because it's the power of nature, but it needs also some kind of little classic temple down there. No, it needs the Apollonian also because nature has the harmony of Apollo inside. No, it's living there. So in this, the School of Athens by Raphael, we can see that we have a Pythagoras here, Zoroaster here, and Plato and Aristotle. There is a triangle here of wisdom. And there are many circles and squares because we have all the Apollonian, but we have also mystery. This is the importance of this esoteric knowledge that is represented here on the right side. Pythagoras and Plato are what the Renaissance philosophers call the philosophia perennis, or the a philosophy that is prisca theologia, not theologia in the sense of a organized religion, but the study of metaphysics, of divine life or divine nature, divine principles. So we have four elements, everything is in this stanza de la señatura, these paintings, which are organized in four. But it has inspiration. No, it's not only order, but it has the inspiration like music has inspiration. We have also represented in one of these here on the right corner, the down right corner, we have this representation of the muse Urania, which is astronomy, but it can also be the world soul or the soul of the world, and is the prime mover, or bringing the energy of the prime mover to move the universe. And this movement is the movement of the fixed stars, all the stars together, and also the zodiac. Everything is connected into a movement that is created by all the connection of the levels of reality. Well, I need to pass this, but we need to take into account that all these four corners are always connected to a rose in the center, like in this Arte Combinatoria by Leibniz, and the ether that is connected with music, because all the other elements are connected to other senses, like fire is connected to sight and vision, on water it's connected to taste, smell is connected to earth, And we have one more, which fire, sight, smell, taste, and air. Touch, yes, touch is air, because the air touches us, the wind, or so. But music is in the center. So this is a very interesting idea that is also in Hindu philosophy and Indian philosophy of Akasha, and the sattvic energy of sattva. No, it's the energy that Vishnu represents. Also, everything is connected in the center. And this is in Argentina, because I'm from Buenos Aires, we used to have this kind of ornamentation for bent grills that represents the four elements and the center of the ether, and the macrocosm and the microcosm.
Nice.
This is connected also to the idea, I'm going to close with the idea of tetractys, which is a Pythagorean symbol that combines the number 4 and the unity on top, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's also a triangle that goes around a number center. So if we have 9 little dots and one in the center, we have 10 also, like 9 muses, and Apollo also in the center. The circle is the dance, and Apollo Musagete was the god who was the conductor of or the director of the muses. And these also 4 numbers are the origins of the musical scale. All
Mhm.
these are the intervals. I cannot enter into much detail, but if you have the relationship between 2 and 1, you have a musical octave. The relation or proportion, the ratio between 3 and 2 is the fifth or 5 notes, and between 4 and 3 is the relation between the fourth or 4 notes, or the tetrachords. Uh, Let me see. Well, I cannot enter too much into the idea of the liberal arts and how the Pythagoreans and Plato connected all these mathematical sciences together, no? Geometry, astronomy, and music, they were all the mathematical science of the quadrivium. And the trivium, later in the Middle Ages, was dialectics, grammar, and rhetorics. Hmm. And well, I can be referring just to this and close the presentation. So this idea of the harmony of the spheres means that all the planets are connected to with these ratios that I was mentioning. No, the fifth and the fourth. Diapente means 5 notes. Pente is 5, and Tesaron, it means 4. So diatesaron means through 4 notes. So from the earth to the sun, there is a fifth, and from the sun to the heaven of the stars, there is a fourth. No, so there are 8 notes. In there are many interpretations of the which notes corresponds to the planets, and so there are many different versions according to different testimonies and texts. But for us, it's important that this is not just something that is a museum piece of knowledge. It's connected to everyday life, because we still live according to a 7-week um, days of 7 days weeks, no? And each week is connected, each day is connected to a planet and to a musical note. Because if we start thinking why we have Monday and then it's followed by Tuesday, that is Mars, we can see that the connection is not really the connection of astronomical or astrological order between the planets, because Mars does not follow the moon, no? Or if we start with Sunday, the day of the sun, then we have moon, and then we have Mars, Mercury, but Mars is not followed by Mercury if we are going uh, uh, up in the scale. So the order is connected to music, because we suppose we start with Monday, we need to go to Mars, and this means that if we put one musical note to moon, which is A, we need to go 5 notes to go to Mars. Is because Mars AB is E, no, in musical notes. I need to do another diagram to explain this better, but you need to connect Monday with Mars, and Mars with Mercury, and Mercury with Thursday, that is Jupiter, and Jupiter with Friday, that is the day of Venus, and Venus with Saturday, with Saturn, and Saturn with Sun. No, all these connections are musical connections of intervals of 4 notes or 5 notes. 5 notes if we are ascending, and 4 notes if we are descending. But I don't have much time, but it's better to close it here.